Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 7th of March 1976. And the first thing you're going to notice is that we are now on the new update. This is the beta version of the update, which is currently available on Steam. And I've had a couple of comments from people who asked how to get this update. And the way you do it is you go into Steam, go into the Steam library, right click on the name of the game, Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and what you'll get is a drop down menu. Click properties, and in properties look for a tab called betas, and then what you need to do then is look for a tab called I think it's beta test public. If you click on that, and then what will happen is Steam will update your version of the game to this test branch. One thing I will say is that if you are playing with an ongoing series, but make sure you make a backup of the game before you actually do the update, so that if anything goes wrong you can back out, because save games are not backward compatible. Now what we're going to be doing in this video is, first thing we're going to be doing is just taking a look at the new interface. Then we'll be taking a look at the loyalty mechanic and the changes we need to make to this economy in order to be able to, well, deal with loyalty. And then of course what we're going to do is get into some gameplay. But before that, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me so much to think about. Now I'd like to say a special thank you to the person who took a bit of time to give me some tips related to loyalty, and we'll talk about those in a little while. The other comment I got was related to my train network up here, and someone made a suggestion about trying to maximize the use of a single train by saying about using the train to export both coal and iron. I think I've got some kind of route worked out. What I can do is send the train to here to pick up coal, bring it down to here to unload coal to here, and then store it in this small aggregate store, and then any surplus coal can then be exported, because I'm assuming that this small aggregate store will fill up pretty quickly. And then my original idea is to pick up iron ore here and then drop it off here, so it's like one circuit. The problem is I can't get back to here to pick up the link unless I put in a linking track in here. But what I will do is look at that a bit later, because I think to be able to put a linking track into here, I'm going to have to remove this, which means we're going to have to electrify the line. And the other downside is that because of it will be a linking track in a half circle going back to there, I probably will have to auto purchase the track, because I can't see any way I can get the constructor train up into this area. So that's something that I do want to look at, and hopefully that will give me a pretty efficient line. And while we're here, I'll just show you quickly that we're just updating the last of our normal track here. So what I'll be doing in this part hopefully is starting to electrify the line here. But first things first, what I want to do is just talk a little bit about the new interface, because I want to make a couple of changes. Now, the interface in this configuration is the way you get it when you first load the game, but what you can do, and this is something that was mentioned in Community Report 36, you come into here, you'll see where it says here, construction on top here. The other thing you can also do is actually increase or decrease the scale of these icons. What I'm going to do is just increase them up to say at least 50%, mainly so you guys can actually see the icons. We open up this one here and come into here, and then what you can do is also increase these icons as well. I think these are quite big enough for what we need to do. Now, I am going to apologize for the fact that I might stumble on this interface, because I haven't worked that much with it. You never know what's going to happen. The other option that's also been added is you can hide this bar, but what I've found is that it can be a little bit unpredictable with respect to when it comes out, when it comes back in again. So you can see it sometimes there's like a time lag. So I'm going to leave it pinned at the moment. You can also do the same over here with the sidebar here, but again I'm just going to leave it pinned, so it just makes it a bit easier for me moving around. As I say, I might unpin it later on. For anyone who's not familiar with the interface, I'll just do a very quick run round just to show you where things are and some of the more useful features are. I won't do anything to do with the actual construction toolbar. We'll talk about that as and when I use it. So starting at the top left here, you can see that what you get here now is a breakdown of the economy, and you can see the economy is coming in quite nicely. And then of course you get the same for rubles. You got the date here. The dark kind of little bars underneath, I think, represent the length of the day, and I think that's more relevant to the if you're playing with the day-night cycle on. Over here we've got the familiar weather as well. And then at the end here, we've got a series of drop-down menus, which are very useful. The first one gives you a breakdown of your population. And just to kind of give you a correlation, if you come there, you can see that the workers is 7,252, which relates to this over this side. And then what you get is that is further broken down to the number of workers with lower education, the ones with higher education. You can see that based on my normal standards, that I've got 2,246 workers with lower education, which means I've probably got a bit of a problem in my university system. And then below that, you get a more detailed breakdown of your children with different ranges, and you can also see that I've got 242 or 41 over 21s. And then below that, we got studying university, prisoners, and tourists. Then if we move across to here, what you get now is a breakdown of your workforce and your children studying. You can see that I'm okay from a point of view that I've got everyone educated to a reasonable standard. You can see there I've got 162 can't work because of small children. That means I've got a problem with the kindergarten. And then of course we've got some unemployment there. Got one due to sickness. At the moment it says adults cannot study in elementary school and university. That seems to be okay. But you can see there I've got 124 can't go to university, which means I've probably got a problem with my university as well. Moving across, this is an indicator of health. I think overall the health is pretty solid with respect to satisfied, sport as well. Then of course across here we got happiness here. Now one thing I will say about this happiness menu is that there's one key factor here which is not shown here, which is actually shown in the health, which is sated. And food has a big impact on happiness. So that's something you do need to remember. Also cold, but I don't think they can measure cold. You can see overall clothing quality, sports equipment, culture is a bit low. That means that somewhere in my economy I've got a bit of a problem with culture, which I need to look at. I would guess that it's probably up around Foodville. And then at the top of the right-hand column, you'll see it says government loyalty 42%, which correlates to what it does here. Now, I know some purists may say, well, you shouldn't be able to see loyalty because I haven't got any secret police built. The way I look at this is an average indicator. We'll just close this down. So what this is telling me is that my average loyalty is 42%. And this is something that you do need to be aware about. This is an average. That means that the loyalty of your population can fluctuate quite widely. And of course, I can't really show it to you at the moment, but there is a little bit of an indicator based on some of the information that was given to us in Community Report 36. And that says that if your workforce is below 30%, you actually get lower productivity. So what you can do in here, you look for someone who's got low productivity, and you can see the average, it's the one below where it says age and lifespan. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see that a couple in here have got productivity of 73%, some 99, 100. So what that means is even if you haven't got the loyalty enabled because you haven't built the secret police yet, still gauge roughly where the loyalty actually is. Ideally what we need to be able to do is see people's loyalty, and to do that we're going to need to build secret police to go and visit people's homes like good old secret police is. But before that, I just want to follow a tip that somebody said, and one of the keys to building up loyalty is actually setting this. I think I'm going to set this to about 35% for the moment. But what you see here, it says minimum government loyalty for employers. If workers' loyalty is unknown, and it says is allowed to work, means anyone is allowed to work in here. So at the moment I'm just setting these up so that I can ensure that once we actually find the loyalty of our population, and at the moment I'm just setting it to 35%. That's the university here. Now at the moment I'm not setting the loyalty of student. Going forward, there's a kindergarten. In fact, I can't see the schools in here. Where is the tab? Oh, it's here. That's if I actually just click on the right one. So we got So this is probably the easiest way to do it, actually, come to think of it. So we're just going to set you to school. We've got 3 schools here. Set this to 35%. And we've already done you. And then we'll just check the university. So you're at 35%. You're at 35%. So what we'll do is just scoot over to here. We're still building the university here, so we only got the one school at the moment, which I'm pretty sure is there. Just set this to 35% as well for the moment. And then, of course, what we'll do is we'll scoot over to here. This is where I know I've got some problems with respect to education and all that, because we've got a university. In fact, I think I'm just going to get you going on those 2 buildings there, because we need to get the school and education going. Now, the school is in here, so we need to get that built, and here's the university. So that's the first thing we need to do. It doesn't affect kindergartens. So we've got our school and our university set up. Now the next thing we need to do is work on actually some of the static ways of improving our loyalty. That is the use of monuments. As of Community Report 36, monuments can only improve loyalty between 40 and 50%, depending on the difficulty. So I'm assuming that because I'm playing on hard mode, that my maximum is 40%, but it's still something. But as somebody pointed out in the comments, it's something that you really need to do. So what we're going to do is come in here. We're just going to choose a monument. Whoops. And now the recommendation is to build the Red Star Monument, because that actually gives the biggest boost in loyalty and also the biggest area. But I'm assuming this will change over time. Now I have looked at the mods, and the mods still got a little bit of work to go. See this one here is 2 plus 2%. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build a Red Star Monument. I think I'm going to put you here because we're going to build out this way. Yeah, I think, actually no, I'm going to put it, can I get it in there? No, we're going to put it over here next to the university, and we're just going to drop you in there. Now, one thing I do want to try out, again, this is something they mentioned in Community Report 36, and the trouble is I've got absolutely no, oh, it's in the terrain tools. This is the new measurement tool. So what this does is it tells, so that you can do is just go round. So that actually covers this whole area. And what you can do is you can actually, whoops, you can actually do a mixed path like this. But what you need to remember is to actually delete all the points. What that actually does is you can get an idea of the terrain as well. Yes, there's a minimum height, maximum height. There's not that much terrain variation in it. It also tells you what you can build if you could actually build it, but we need to clear that point there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the monuments first, and then we'll do the secret police afterwards, so that there's kind of structure. And again, I think my instinct is to put a red star in here, but where would we put it? Actually, there's a, just noticed a little bit of a footpath. I'd like to build that. Well, we're looking here. We could actually put the red star here, couldn't we? Or the monument. I think we will. I'll just put the anywhere that's a bit more, because we've got a Lenin statue here, but I'm not sure he will actually affect the whole work, because he was built before the update was applied. I think we will put you in there. And again, I'm just going to use the measurement tool just to check the distance, and that's 380, 396, but So the school out here is probably a little bit on 312. So I think we're okay on that perspective. Now up here, I think I'm going to just measure, because I don't want this place to be that big. So let me just see. Let's actually just use the measurement tool again. I know I'm kind of overworking the measurement tool, but that's 300. So we can get there. That would be 160. So what we might be able to do, just as to kind of ring the changes a little bit. Yeah, 2.2, 2.6, 2.8, 2.4. You've got 1.5 over 90 meters. I think what we'll do here is we'll just kind of put a statue of Lenin there, and then the copper one there. Well, let's try. What's the resources for this? Suppose it's going to take more. I think what we'll do is we'll just drop a little one in here. I know it's not that far, but so that's the monuments. Now the next thing we need to do is actually put in the secret police. Now I've got, let me just see, siege infrastructure. I've got a series. Oh, we've got a building on fire. Where are you? Oh, yeah, no problem. Let's get back up to here. I've got no idea what the level of coverage is here, but again, because this place isn't very big, my instinct is, I mean, we've got this secret police building, which is pretty big, and I don't really want to build that here. I like the idea. We got a local intelligence office here. We could put that just in here. I mean, we need it to, actually we could probably put it, actually no, my instinct is to possibly fit it in here, out here. We could just tuck it in on this corner here like that, and we'll do that there to make sure this gets assigned to Knife Edge Road Crew. So in theory that small office should be enough to cover this entire place here. Now over here, I think when I did my test check, I actually put it in here. Let's just open this up. What we'll do is just take out you there, and possibly we'll see if we can fit a, I think this is the default one. That needs 30. That needs, wow, that's big, 90. More secret police. Wow, that's massive. That's, wow, these are all pretty big. I think what we'll do is we'll put in, I'll do exactly what I did when I did the demo of this. Well, I'll put a police office in here, and we'll see how well that goes. You need Knife Edge and Nakomo. That's right on the edge there. So we're going to build that one there. Now over in Colville's going to become a pretty big place. So what I'm thinking here is infrastructure. This is 30. I'm kind of thinking that we can put full size one here. Actually, could we put it over here? No, I think if we put it here, that'd be in the center of town, wouldn't it? And that's where the secret police would be hanging out, really, isn't it? Put a connection there. Where is the button to accept this? Let's just lock that. Oh, here it is. Start construction for planned infrastructure. Ah, so it only appears. Let me just test that. Let me just look at this. We need any more footpaths or anything here? Got a little bit of a connection here. If we put in, say, put some footpaths in for the fun of it. So this button down here, so this accepts some more. Right. Again, we're just going to put in Coalville main construction because we need to make the road connections. And of course, we got no indicator whatsoever about what our. So at the moment, our government loyalty is holding up, and what we need to do now is get these buildings built. Now, while that's going on, I just want to talk about another issue that I've got, which is going to become an issue once the train is finished, because what we got here is I've noticed that when this is coming in, this runs out of coal, and the reason for that is that the coal's being picked up here, and this single coal processing yard can't keep up with the coal there. So we kind of put the steel mill there. What you will see is at the moment this, it says here resource missing coal, because what's probably happening is that the coal is being drained over to here. You see the coal's now coming in, so I think what I'm going to need to do is get this conveyor online, so that what we can do is ensure that we've got one coal processing plant keeping this full up, because once the train starts rolling and they start wandering off with, say, a couple of 100 tons of coal, that's going to give a real problem to over here. The other thing I've also done is I've bumped the workforce up here by putting an extra bus up into this area, so that we can actually, it's just going to speed the game up now I've finished messing about. But at the moment we're still keeping this pretty full, but what you will see now is that this will fill up to 20 tons, but we've got a potential issue there which could be a problem. It says new vehicle type muscle car. Okay, so that's something I do need to think about. Let me just check, what are you guys actually working on? You working on the school? We need the school and we need the university to keep our population growing. Now the next thing I want to do is just check my I don't think he's got allocated to, you need him allocated there. Got, oh, I don't want you on that. Wait, lay off the tunnel. I don't want you building a tunnel. Now this tunnel is actually going to need boards and bricks along with prefabs. So what we're going to need to do is just take a look at this. We've got 12 tons of board. What I'm going to do is just open up how many tons of boards we're going to need. We only need about 5 tons of boards in here to build the entire tunnel, so I'm just going to reduce you down 6.52 tons, but what we're also going to need is a bit more in the way of bricks. So what I'm going to do is just drop down prefabs, and we'll have something like that. Probably drop that level of steel, because once this is finished, what we're going to need to do is start thinking about electrifying these lines. And one thing I do want to have a quick check at, I think it's going to be fun getting used to this menu. Want to just check, because I was messing about with some signals, and whoops, what I want to do is just take some of these, if there's any extra points that have been put in, like here. Oops. The reason I'm doing this is simply so that to make it a bit easier for when the time comes for me to do the track for electrification. I think we can just take that out. I think out here generally we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay here. There's a couple here, but that's not a problem. So that is that done. Now, just to give you another bit of an update, we're still currently working on the closed plant here because obviously this system here is a little bit overloaded. How are you doing here? Oops. Put in a, I think we're put a proper footpath in there. In fact, let's kind of double this through like that. Yeah, there's a bit of a mistake there. I don't think my road crew is particularly that busy at the moment. So I'm kind of trying to keep them a little bit local. Because I wanted them to work on this area here. Let's put that in as well. And maybe we'll put a little bit of a back door there. Get that bit filled in. So what are you waiting for? Asphalt. That should be okay. Let me just get up to here. I think what we're going to need to do is just try and let everybody catch up with what they're doing at the moment. Didn't realize the workers worked with the asphalt truck. Interesting. But that should get this done. Okay, run out. Okay, so we need 0.1 asphalt. Oh no, it's finished. What we're going to do is we're going to assign Foodville main construction. Oops. And Nicomo large on this as well. So we could probably put you on there as well. Because we do need to get these things built as quickly as possible. We need you as well. And in some ways we're going to need to keep these guys a little bit... Wait, stop it. Of course, because we're on a beta version, you've got to remember that there is a chance that we may get the occasional small bug. I think overall my harvest is going quite well. I still would like to put the farm out here, and what I'm kind of considering is rather than running extra power lines out, the question is where it is farming. Here it is. That's the food factory. There's the agro farm. Let's see. We put it out here, we're going to have to run an extra power line. So what I'm kind of half thinking at the moment is we could take that down. I mean, we got a junction here. I mean, we've only got this road in anyway. I mean, the alternative would be to try and get it on somewhere like that, just here. I mean, that might work because we don't need anything else here. If that could get built, that's just in range of that power pickup. The alternative is here, because that way that road goes in there. My instinct would be to put the new agro farm in here. What we might need is well, we'd have to deliver fuel directly to here. We'll have to deliver fuel to this agro farm for respect to the what we call it, the vehicles in here, so they come back and refuel. So if we drop that in there, I think that will work, because that will allow and then that would also give us a bit more space for some extra fields up here to be added at a later date once we've got this whole area into stability. Okay, probably a little bit optimistic thinking that they're going to be ready to go. Let's get back over here. Right, this road is built. We need to get you assigned to, I think we'll put the knife edge crew on support, I think, for this one. You need to get assigned here, because of course we need this all put together as quickly as possible. You can see my loyalty's already, average loyalty is already dropped to 41%. That means we've probably got people in our local economy who are not 100% loyal. They're probably below 30%. Now, another building that I'm kind of a bit interested in, although I've got no idea. Where would that be? Would it be in infrastructure? This is children. We got orphanages here. Wow, that's big. I'm gonna have to go to. Not sure why that keeps closing. I like the idea of putting a small orphanage in. Well, they've got a Tudor orphanage there, but in a small orphanage somewhere. Got a bit of space up here actually. If we could get that in, we could get an orphanage just in here. The main reason I'm building an orphanage is mainly just out of curiosity. Put in an orphanage here. And again, we're just don't want gravel roads, want footpaths. Probably connect you up to there and there. And we'll just accept those. How many shops have you got? Yeah, you've got a little bit of support on that. I think that would be enough to keep you guys busy. I'm going to get over to here. And how are we doing? Wow. This is going up really great. Right, we need to get you underway. For main construction. Where did I build the monument? Okay. We need to get you built as well. Well, we're certainly not going to finish them in this video because we've got a lot of work to do, but I think we'll be okay in the long run. I really like the idea of getting this school finished. How's the steel coming? Well, we got a little bit of steel coming in. I mean, generally this whole steel mill is pretty efficient now compared to the other one. You can see we got 1.68 million as well, which is pretty good. Let me just spin over and check the train. Right. So you've just got one little bit more to build. And once that's built, what we can do then is start our electrification process. Have you actually got components in? Yeah, you've got 1.71 tons of components. So just let that run. I think overall things are going pretty well. We've still got, we're on the 3rd of May. And we've got 2,100 tons of crops in there. And we've got 1,600 tons of crops in here. I guess that our warehouses are probably pretty full. We got 462 in there and 500 tons in there. So overall things are looking pretty good. Just need to look at our exports. I went up there and I thought, wow, where's the exports gone? But of course it's economy and trade. Exports. That was last month. We're only on the 5th of May, so we exported 209,000. So we made 124,000 profit because at the moment we're only really importing steel for the railway and iron. Iron is our big kind of import at the moment, which goes without saying. It's probably going to stay like that for some time. New type of vehicle, lots of cars coming in. Looking at here, there's 6 unable to participate in sport. I've got a feeling that there might be a sport problem up here, come to think of it. Yeah, 21 citizens, because we've only got these 2 here. What I'm thinking possibly is, is it sport here. We've got an indoor pool here and a gym. What we got here? We've got a gym. That's 21 tons. This is more gym here. I'm thinking maybe we can drop a gym on the side of here, and maybe that will offset that. And of course we're all a little bit overloaded down here. We're getting some deliveries into our local intelligence office, and of course we got our big red star monument here. Let's spin back up to here, and we're got our little statue of Lenin here, which only needs 10 tons. It would be quite nice to get that built. I must admit, I'm a little bit nervous with respect to loyalty for my Four Corners series. This is the reason why I wanted to do this one first, because this series has got a little bit more leeway with respect to possible problems compared to the other one, mainly in the form of transport. So you need 16 tons. I mean, these it's almost like the secret police have a priority on build. Don't know if that's built into the game, but we've got a school here that's filled. Thank you, game. We're certainly gonna get. I don't want anyone in here who's 35. What that should do is improve the education system. Oops, not the education. That's culture. Yeah, so that's solved the lower education area, which is the problem here. I think we're okay for culture because we've got our People's Theatre here, and all we need to do now is just finish off this university, and what that will do is take the pressure off of this one. We've got our little statue here. I think what we'll probably do is just stick with the statues we built to begin with, just to see how things go. And then after that, what we'll do is maybe use the statues to push things forward a little bit. Because at the moment we don't know. In fact, let's just have another look at our population. It's a bit difficult to tell because these people are moving all the time. If I pause the game, we'll be able to take a see. He's got an average productivity of 69%. So he probably doesn't. So we've got someone there, average productivity 103. So that's someone who's very loyal to the party. 83, 81, 104, 102. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they've got such high productivity percentage because their loyalty could be a quirk of the way the game initialized it when the beginning. So I won't read too much into that. Let's get over to here. This guy's finished. I'm just going to pause the game while what I'm going to need to do now is a little bit of electrification, and this could get a little bit messy. What I'm going to need to do is why won't that? It's crossing not allowed. That could be annoying. Sort that out going forward. I mean, I'm expecting to have a few problems with electrification, especially with this complex nature of the junction here. Where that one's gone up that side. Okay, you come back to there. You go to there. You electrify all the way to there, to there. What we'll do is we'll start with getting that there. What this guy should do now. He should come out. Make sure he's yep. And what I'm going to do is just electrify a little bit more if I can. And what we'll do is we'll do the main parts through. and then I can come back and do the odds and ends later on. I think that was going on here. Looks like there's a tiny little bit there which I missed. Yeah, we got a whole series of little bits and pieces here. Just electrify you through to there, and have to electrify you up to there, there. Do you up to there, and a little bit more, and then we'll go and look at something a little bit more interesting. There and there. This is quite literally just to keep the construction train entertained during the rest of this video. Get you there. I think that'd be enough to be going on with. Just take a look at him while we're at it. And of course, in his infinite wisdom, I want to see how far he's going to go. So you should be able to finish this section. Hopefully what he'll do is he'll push through as far as he can go. And he got as far as that. Oh well, that's the way it goes. It looks like, so he is starting to put together the tracks. Of course, there's the electrical connector here because this isn't being electrified yet. Okay, so he's obviously going that way, and he'll probably do that section. So he should be okay, and hopefully, probably maybe not the next part, but the part after that, we can actually start seriously looking at the train. Oh, we got a fire. Where's that? Oops. Worried. Okay. Oh, got a fire in our steel mill. Come on, guys, out here ASAP. We've got all 4 crews now working on this. You've got to fight hard for this. Yeah. Yeah, can't afford to lose the steel mill. That would be a pretty big disaster. Well, I really would like to try and get one of these secret police headquarters finished. The problem is I can't afford the video to be too long because at the moment, for some reason best known to my internet supplier, my upload speeds have gone through the basement. Which is, give an example, this morning I uploaded a video which would normally take just over an hour, and it took nearly 3 hours to upload, which is a real pain. I think we can keep going for a little while. So I would love to get at least one of these, at least the statue finished or something like that. So we're just going to keep looking around and seeing how things are going. Over here, it was just, yeah, we're still doing good with crops on, considering we're on the 29th of May. This is not going quite as fast as I was hoping for, probably because this steel mill here is nowhere near as efficient as the other one is. You're loading up steel here. Where are you going? You're going to the local intelligence office. You've got 1.1 tons of steel. That's certainly going to make a major contribution, isn't it? You got here, you got the orphanage. I don't think we're going to build the orphanage just yet. We do need to get at least some of this stuff done. Como Camp Road, Star, Red Star Monument. I mean, this is going okay. I mean, if we could get a little bit more in the way of delivery here, this would finish. Of course, one of the problems we are going to have is going to cost us a fortune to buy the vehicles put into these secret police offices. Got the ubiquitous queue here. somebody did post a comment saying that the customs shed has been fixed, and I will be taking a look at that going forward. But you can see here that this hasn't changed with respect to this new update, although it does seem to be a little bit quicker. But you can see only one vehicle can move at a time. We've got 3 vehicles come out now for slots, 4 vehicles now. Now we got one coming out here. And that one comes out. And what you'll probably see now is that this will all fill up because these other ones are slowly filling up. So all the bays will fill up again. This guy's just come out. And then someone else will go there. And when he goes there, we'll get another one go in. He finishes, we'll get another one go in. Then they will start moving out again. So the game is using all the slots. It's just this kind of area here. Only one vehicle can move in and out at any one time. And of course, that's also a problem with my the hospital over here. I think because the nature of the way things are to be able to get multiple ambulances moving in and out through here, we would need to knock this down and rebuild it. I think what this guy actually needs is a couple of ambulances, doesn't he? Looking at him, so what we'll do is we'll just shoot across here, buy a couple of ambulances. When they all carry one passenger, and they are quite cheap, so I think what we'll do is we'll just mix the changes up. Actually, we'll buy 3. Oops. And because eventually they're all going to get used as Colville grows, so we might as well put them over here. Get them in. Work. Get some more ambulances here. The fact that none of them stay long enough to get it. Yeah. Obviously we've had a bit of an epidemic here. That should make a difference. I just want to check out the clinic in Foodville, because I can't remember actually. Oh, these have got their 2 here. We've got the intelligence offices being built. How are we doing here? Need 7 tons of steel here. I'm not going to bring on the farm just yet. Right, we've now finished this area here. Wow. Okay. We've even got workforce out here now. And we are storing meat. Wow. I do need this built. Or... So I guess at the moment our consumption is coming from this. Because I don't think I'm not getting a feeling that we're bringing in the workforce from here. Okay, where's this guy? Okay, you're bringing the crops down from here. Right. What we do need to do now is you've got a storage of 7.5 tons. And we've got this shed here. Right, what we're going to need to do, let me just pause and think about this. We need to get the livestock up here, and as far as I can see, it's not flowing to here, but we're going to need to get the workforce to here. So we need to get main construction expansion on there to get that bus platform built, so we can get workers into here. We might there, but we got 20 odd tons of there. So we got 1,000. Okay, we're okay there on the June. think what I wouldn't mind is to, can we pick up from here? Can I pick up load cattle from there and drop off there 20%, 100%. Okay. And what we're going to need is I'm just going to get a second truck to covered hole that can carry livestock. And we've got one here. This can carry 5.6 ton. We'll buy one of those. It's a bit expensive, but looking at these, I think it might be time to start thinking about expanding or upgrading my, what we call it. I think what we're going to do is, where are you again? Right, what we're going to do temporarily is we're going to knock out that load there. And what I want you to do is just keep shipping all the, whoops, livestock up to here. And what I need to do now is find my meat producers. Right, who is cool. Right, who's moving the meat? I think what we're going to probably need to do is I think one. And then what we'll do is we're just, I think what we'll have to do eventually is set up a distribution office that will, like, so that we can actually get the meat distributed. What happened there? I don't think that actually worked. Well, it says it's already assigned. Doesn't make sense. Let's see. It's Chapeau Cargo Station. There it is. I don't understand why you want to pick up cement. Let's just let the game run. That does not make sense. Okay, let's just allocate you to there then. And remove you from there. Is this saying that it will not pick up meat? So we're going to have to pick it up directly. Okay, I'm happy with that. I mean, it could be down to the fact that this doesn't have a power supply, but it doesn't make sense because the actual power terminal is here, which I would guess is well within range, seeing that is within range. Anyway, what we're going to do is, I think that is going to be a job for another part, sort out the meat distribution. And what? So we've now got this working pretty quickly, and we are producing quite a lot of. Where are you going? Oh, you're driving right across the field to here. Go out to there. Oh, that's something I didn't know. Is there a road connection here? What we might do is gravel road. I think we'll take advantage of that and put that in there. So again, the truck will come in here, pick up here and drop out there. But I was hoping that everything would move up this way, but obviously not. But what we can do is when this is built, we can put a bus in here. I'm aware that despite I said that I need to keep the video short, where I'm starting to go over long again, but none of these are finished. Let's see whether anything is finished in Colville. I just love this game. You do something and then you get totally distracted. Right, we've got our university here. We want everybody loyal. We've got 1.3 tons of steel here. How far off are we from here? You need 2.1 tons of steel. Right, guys, what I really want to get this at least some of this done in this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the video here, and we're going to wait for this to get built. Okay, welcome back. We've now completed our monument. The secret police is coming pretty close, and what has actually happened is these guys are actually running out of jobs. So what I'm going to do is we're going to let them give a bit of an assist with that, and that, and I just want to see if I can get those built, but that will be for the next video. But what I really would like to do is just look at that. We've finished now. So we've now got our secret police headquarters, and we're going to set you to 35. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I'm aware this video is already going well over time. But what we're going to do is get by about 4 of those, because what we want to do is follow the secret police. Just gonna be interested to see how they travel round. So they actually visit the individual buildings like that. Of course, what that means is now, is that what we can now see is we've got an average loyalty in here of 43%. But more importantly, now if I pause the game, what we can see now is the loyalty of our workforce. You can see that actually the loyalty in here is not bad, 62%. So you've got someone here with 31% loyalty, and they're getting a bit marginal. You've got 34% loyalty, so you can see the whole range of loyalty here. I mean, this is 56. Let's move this over because we're... He's got somebody here with 28% loyalty, 21% loyalty. So there's a few people in here who are not with the program, but that gives you an idea of the range of loyalty that we've got. It's lots of, almost like a lot of our educated people aren't there. So what will happen is that if we just let the game run now, what should happen now is, I mean, it's going to take a little while for it to take effect, but what we should do is that people here who have not got at least 35% loyalty will no longer be allowed to educate our students. What that should do is increase the loyalty of the children. And of course, what we'll do here is make sure you can see here we still got people working in here who have not been covered yet, their loyalty. I saw one in here somewhere because it's very dynamic. Let me just see. There you can see we've got someone here. Astrakova here hasn't been opened yet. So I think it's going to be quite important, the way you've got accommodation close to universities and schools, that you keep your secret police going around doing things, keeping everybody in check. So we've now made our first start in managing loyalty in Colville. Hopefully we'll be able to get it up and running in other places. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.